Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Break It Dawn.
I won't stand for it.
Let's do the Herald Servo Skull instead. The Servo Skull is designed to spread the glory and splendor of its mighty owner. Now, let's explore the next system. Space Dust. We'll start with the outermost planet and work our way inward. Let's repair our hull real quick. Magnetic Storm. The magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of auger rays. Only truly powerful diviner machines may see through the currents of magnetic fluctuations and their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of this emperor-forsaken planet. Right Traders decided to leave this unwelcoming world. Maybe he'll return here one day. Yeah, we need a better auger array to see through the magnetic storm. There's a few planets like that. I don't want to put an extractium on a plasteel with only two. I should probably make note of this. So we have... This is Omicron, I believe. Alright. Notes are made. Inhabited world. The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detected the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. For whatever reason, the dome systems failed, and left behind is this city, a ghost that never managed to become a proper colony of the Imperium. I sent out a crew to explore the city's temple district. The temple district is situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome, supported by chains of gold. It can be seen from anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set off to explore the area with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumbled upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal wreathed in sunlight. The expedition brought it back to the ship and told many tales about how the Emperor himself, who'd been watching them from above, had directed their attention to the sacred relic. It's a blessed bolter casing. Single attacks with bolter weapons automatically hit the target. That's pretty good. Order the scouts to gather as many supplies as possible. Your people flooded the city like a tidal wave, filled building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, and receded from its quiet streets just as quickly. There are plenty of useful things among their findings, including foodstuffs and weapons. Explore the local palace. A lavishly decorated estate of the local ruler towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from the cleverly hidden tripwires in the courtyard. After losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps in the estate. Anything of value has been promptly delivered to the Rogue Trader's vessel. The Lord Captain was even given an exquisite sword found in a secret cache that once belonged to the mansion's owner. A ghost sword. That is an Eldari weapon. Drain the remaining fuel from the generator stations. The city won't need them anymore. It takes several trips to deliver the massive Prometheum storage tanks to your vessel. The crew grimly points out the colony is running out of fuel. Had the life support systems not failed prematurely, the locals would still have perished due to lack of energy. Leave the dead city. Alright, we're done here. When the Lord Captain arrived on the bridge during the warp jump, he found the on-duty officers in a state of utter confusion. They claimed they had been receiving orders from the bridge for several minutes, orders authorized by the rogue trader, but the Lord Captain had been absent. Curiously, the orders had been signed by the late Theodore von Valancius. After a thorough investigation, the tech priest attributed the strange incident to the whims of the machine spirits. The ship left the hostile Immaterium and returned to real space. Alright, system Speculo. Let's start with the unknown ships, but before we do that, can't do any upgrades yet. So, let's do a quick save beforehand. Report shows up on your personal cogitator screen. Unknown ships are towing the Interstellar Sextant, a cargo ship belonging to one of Footfall's wealthiest traders. It looks like the pirates have bitten off more than they can chew. They've now been forced to drag the ship to a more secluded place where they can plunder it undisturbed. Attack the pirates. As soon as they see you, escort ships charge into battle at once, while the captive Sextant powers up its warp engines. Unless you interrupt the preparation for the jump, the cargo ship will forever vanish beyond the veil of the Immaterium, along with all the riches it is carrying. Ascend all available forces to intercept the Interstellar Sextant. Don't let it get away. I forgot how to read there for a minute. Yeah, I think it's okay if we let that one get away. I'm gonna focus on my firepower on the Interstellar Sextant. A nasty little fight. Luckily, some of these guys are facing the wrong way. You're not activating anything, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna let him get away. Hopefully the torpedoes can reach that Sextant. That's some damage. Let's see what we can do here. Let's get our torpedoes out. Oh, it's disabled. Alright, I got you, I got you. I could have chased him down. Best if I didn't. I have bigger fish to fry, and that's these two ships over here. They're gonna hurt us pretty bad. Yeah, you're not gonna activate anything, buddy. Try all you want.
A commendable victory, rogue trader.
So we got a Mazoa macro cannon and a handful of scrap. Alright, so the Lance, Starbreaker Lance weapon. Undermine, sorry, we have the dorsal. We can equip this. So 228. So this is just an upgrade across the board. I thought there was a problem with. I don't know that you can fire two lance weapons in the same turn. I think I've come across that issue before. We'll give it a shot. I think that's why. I don't know. We'll see. You probably can't angle the lance weapon. I think you only fire dead ahead. Alright, Xenotech, we don't have any of that yet. I will. It's only 3, but it's still something we don't have yet. I think we have some adamantine already. But I might go ahead and place that just so we don't have to come back to this system after we explore this anomaly. Yeah, it's gonna do that. It is kind of a waste of an extractium, but it secures this system at least. The bottomless pit. This is a fun encounter. It's cool when, well, kind of spoilers, but it's cool when 40k explores actual alien societies, races. Because you have the big ones. You have the Eldar, the Dark Eldar, humans, Tau, orcs. You have the mainstays, but there's a whole galaxy, so there's a lot of
or get left in the dust.
mystery to explore. A lot of potential for one-off stories. The servitor's mechanical parts produce a quiet whirring, occasionally interrupted by clicking.
Abelard, I've been meaning to ask, how are you keeping it together so well? Don't you ever feel awful without her?
Enough, Tlus. We have a duty to the new rogue trader. You would do well to focus on that. If you keep your mind busy, you will have less opportunity to fill it with awful things.
Rudimentary tools and devices are now covered in a layer of dirt and local flora.
The premonition runs true.
The surface is covered in countless scratches. You can discern some logic in them. Someone began by scratching strange symbols, but then defaced them, adding extra marks and lines.
Is there money to be made?
And done.
It's weird. My mind is completely empty. Not a single whisper, no premonitions, nothing. Just empty.
The witch's mind is at ease. I must be doubly on my guard.
Data slate. Leon Himmerfeld's Field Diary. It has been several months since we arrived here, and yet we are no closer to understanding the local phenomenon. All that we're able to learn quite literally lies on the surface. The object does not reflect sound or light. On the contrary, it very much absorbs them. After extensive excavation, we did ascertain, at least, that the object is vast and goes deep below the planet's surface. However, any attempts to measure it resulted in loss of machinery or staff. Archaeological studies have turned out to be more productive. Their findings have revealed an amalgamation of architectural styles of various cultures, including those of Xenos origin. According to the boldest theories, the earliest of these structures date from the beginning of the 30th millennium, and all of them are, without a doubt, of a religious nature. Analysis of bas reliefs and remaining epigraphic texts show that a cult was formed around the object. For many centuries, Xenos and subsequently humans worshipped the object in exchange for certain boons, undoubtedly imagined by primitive or corrupted minds.
I always have a backup plan.
One and it's done.
Numerous ropes and cables end abruptly at the very edge of the pit, vanishing to the gathering darkness. The barely noticeable words in shaky handwriting read, "Touch the darkness, and the darkness will accept you." Inside the containers are the remnants of stones and frescoes depicting a black spot surrounded by structures of some sort.
I always keep my options open.
Take heed, rogue trader.
Staff of Mindsight. The word of this staff, power level 12, gains the Vision of Death ability. This ability is also available in its Heroic Act and Desperate Measure versions. Power levels affect the damage of this power. Enemies suffer a -10 penalty to all resistance tests against psychic powers of the telepathy discipline used by the wielder. 15 willpower, 10 perception. So Vision of Death. The target must pass a willpower resistance test, which synchronizes well with my main character. If failed, the target suffers mental damage. The part of the damage equal to 30% of the target's current wounds cannot exceed 300. If passed, the target instead suffers Psyker's staff power level mental damage. Well, well, well. Obviously, grab that. Alright.
Let us not dawdle.
The darkness swirls beneath your feet, a void of impenetrable gloom. You do not hear a single sound from the depths of the pit. No wailing wind, no rustle of dust. Examine the pit. The bright daylight cannot pierce the darkness lying over the slopes. The longer you look into its depth, the stronger the feeling grows that this darkness isn't just an absence of light. It is something immeasurably vast, endless, capable of reaching the farthest stars or swallowing a galaxy. With sheer force of will, you avert your gaze. Onyx peers into the darkness in the depths of the pit. You feel the touch of an otherworldly chill. The interrogator arches an eyebrow. Whatever this, phenomenon may be, there's no warp sorcery within it. Creepy. Adira tilts her head to the side, listening to something. As she scowls and spits on the ground. Rox knows what it is. It's beyond my remit. Lean over and stretch your hand into the darkness. At the edge of your consciousness, you sense something slimy and intangible, answering your invitation for contact. It seeps into your thoughts, tasting your emotions. Surprise and curiosity envelop you, but these feelings are not your own. Submit to the entity's will. I think the first time I tried this and I failed. You're hit by a sudden wave of all-consuming silence. A moment later, the world around you disappears, leaving only black, viscous, boundless darkness. The absoluteness of it is overwhelming, and you slowly sink into the void that is sucking you in. What are you? You're looking at a tiny person peeking over the edge of the bottomless darkness. You're looking at yourself. Then you blink and see the same place, except the camp around you is full of life. Scholars are zipping back and forth between field structures, switching on unfamiliar machines in an attempt to know the unknown. A moment later, they are all nude, singing and dancing around the pit. The smell of heated bodies, blood, and sweat assaults your nostrils, drowning out your thoughts. One by one, the lunatics fall into the embrace of nothingness. You make out a toad-like Xenos building a temple around the pit. They are praying, conducting rites, making sacrifices to the darkness in hopes of unimaginable gifts. The darkness shrouds everything once more. Or rather, you are the darkness. Something immeasurably vast, endless, capable of reaching the farthest stars or swallowing a galaxy. Same description as before, roll slightly. A some will pulls you out of the cozy embrace of the void, toward the light. And you snap out of the vision as sorrow fills you from within. What do you want from me? You find yourself on the floor of an abandoned estate. You feel someone's disgusting presence behind you, and raspy foul breath tickles your nostrils. A drop of water trickles down from the stone ceiling and shatters the silence with a deafening splash. The heavy door before you is open. You could try to escape. It is now or never. Turn around and fight the creature. You turn around, intent on killing the thing with your bare hands, but then exclaim in hesitation. You recognize the disfigured monster that is staring at you balefully from the darkness. You let out a heavy sigh, and a cloud of hot, fetid vapor settles on the smooth surface of the mirror. You sit at the apex of a massive onyx pyramid. Your abilities are limitless. With a single thought, you can raise mountains, drain an ocean, or disperse the clouds. Nobody cares anymore. Soon your brothers and sisters will sacrifice you, so that they can share your power among themselves, and guide the civilization to prosperity. Proceed with the ceremony for the sake of future generations. Solemnly, you're placed on a cold black slab covered in glowing script. You close your eyes and pray as your brothers and sisters rip your 7 hearts out of your chest. By the end of the ceremony, they're gnawing on every last bone of your body, shedding tears of sorrow. You join your ancestors within the black monolith, and for many centuries thereafter, you watch from above as your civilization blossoms. You're lying on a burning sand, struggling to open your eyes, but your eyelids feel too heavy. You can barely move your arms and legs, your stomach hurts, your throat is bone dry. Several of your kin, all emaciated, are scattered around you. The hunger is so strong that it is driving you mad. You let out a bestial howl. Something metallic clinks next to your right hand. A knife. This is it. You can survive. You must survive. All you need to do is decide whom to sacrifice. So these are your companions. The decrepit old man and the tattered remains of a military uniform is Abelard. The strange animal-like creature with barely noticeable shadows swirling around it. That's probably Adira. The brawny woman with bloodied hands. is Argenta. The senior young man wearing a blindfold is Heinrichs. The feeble-minded one who is gnawing on another's bones. Yeah, that has to be a deer, right? Yeah, I'm guessing that's Jai? Yeah, has to be. Cut off a piece of yourself. You bite down on your belt and cut off a piece of your own flesh. The pain is so terrible that your vision darkens. Unable to bear it, you let out a frenzied groan. You still shove the slimy scrap into your mouth and swallow it. So I think depending on who you choose here, that companion will disappear. The darkness takes them and then you have to find them again. You can sense the darkness's triumph. It has been following your thoughts with great interest, rummaging in your memories, studying your emotions, saving your resolve and rage. Its bottomless gut rumbles with satisfaction. At last, grateful, it lets you go and presents a parting reward. Champion of the Abyss. Permanent +2 bonus to weapon skill and +5 bonus to coercion. That's really good. Only I got that last time. Black impenetrable darkness carries on with its silent existence.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Alright, what do we get? Characteristic and a talent. Awesome. A weapon skill. And where's the one that lets me... do weapon combat. That's what I want. A weapon skill for Abelard as well. Battle of Attrition's probably worth it. Want to be Deep Laceration? Actually, this might be good. So whenever an enemy in a 4-cell radius around the Executioner suffers damage from a damage over time effect, the Executioner regains 3 wounds. This would also be good. Abelard seems really squishy, so making him a little bit more defensive might be a good idea. Broad Expertise. When entering combat, the Archmilitant gains +12 weapon skill and +6 ballistic skill until the end of combat. And ballistic skill. Jai. Ballistic skill. A defensive comrade. While the Vanguard has at least one ally in a 2-cell radius, the Vanguard gains +6% parry. Broad Expertise for Heinrichs as well is fine, and weapon skill. Adira. We'll grab ballistic skill here. And ballistic skill here. Back to the ship, we'll level up the rest of our companions. I realize I clicked on something.
Is there money to be made?
Pretty cool. Cassia. A natural allure. Navigator gains +5 fellowship, an additional +1 fellowship for every navigator talent or navigator power taken. And willpower, I think, is what she wanted. Bella. Weapon skill. Probably doesn't hurt. All damage over time effects inflicted by the Executioner gain a 20% critical hit chance. This chance is increased by all bonuses to critical hit chance. Yeah, let's do melee weapon specialist. Sweep ability of an axe and the shove ability of a hammer or mace cost minus 1 AP less, but no less than 1. And weapon skill. Alright, so we're going to pull up our map, we'll exit the system, and next time we will explore another system. Or two. We're making pretty good time. Yep, I'm going to call it here, and next time we'll probably go to Telecos Epsilon and keep working our way up towards Mundus Nullius. Try to get to Dargonus. Well, this is where Yanis is at. It'd be weird to go there and not go to Yanis. It is intentionally on the way to the other planets because you get a companion there. So maybe we do Yanis first. We'll see. But either way for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.